I love Indian food, and chicken tikka masala is in my top 5 for sure, maybe even my number 1. It's a gateway food that they invented to try to get their British palate accustomed to Indian spices, so it's a great place to start if you've never had it. I'm going to do a little experiment with the spices behind the scenes. With Indian food, it's all about the spices. Garam masala has a bunch of Indian spices already mixed together into it. So you could just start with this and get nothing else. It'd be nice and cheap, quite simple, and make this the basic spice for your recipe. That's option 1. So option 2, we add just a little bit more. Ground turmeric for color, ground cumin as well, and ground coriander. So you would take all of these and mix them together and make that your basic Indian spice. So that's option number 2. Moving on to option 3, we can add 3 more. We could add chili powder for heat and flavor, cayenne for more heat, and even some curry powder and a little bit of paprika for color. Problem here is it's starting to get more expensive, so you might just go with the basic until you've built up your spices. Our 4th and final option, let's grind stuff ourselves. Mustard seeds, pods, cardamom pods, whole cloves, and instead of ground coriander, let's grind our own coriander. Let's add some nutmeg. Will the labor and cost make it worth it in the flavor? I'll find out. In terms of quantity, you're going to want 1 teaspoon of these 3 items, a half teaspoon of these 4 items, and a quarter teaspoon of these 4 items. That adds up to exactly 2 tablespoons. So if you're just going to use garam masala, go for 2 tablespoons or any combination of these to 2 tablespoons. So those are all the powdered spices, and here are all the whole ones. So I'm going to start toasting those up. Basically, just shake them in a pan until you start to smell them, and then pull them off and let them cool down. They already smell amazing. And that cardamom smells so much better than the powdered. My spices are in my coffee grinder. That's what I use to grind up my spices instead of like a spice grinder, which I guess are more expensive. But that's it. And then I can just grind them up. I'd say that was pretty effective. I'll now combine that with my other ingredients here. This is basically my basic Indian spices now. So whether I'm making chicken tikka masala, lamb sagwala, even paneer tandoori, I'll use it. The chicken is enough for 3 portions, so I have 2 portions here and 1 portion here. I'm going to make them all with the Indian spices, but I'll use half of this and all of this for my 2 experiments. The other half, I'll save that Indian-style chicken for something else down the road. So that's the blend that I made, that I ground up. And over here, that's just a straight out of the bottle garam masala. So now we have to make the Indian marinade. Whenever you marinate lamb or chicken or even shrimp and fish, this works. All right, I just mashed up some garlic and ginger together, and I'm going to mix it with 1 container of yogurt, and I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of the garam masala into one and 1 tablespoon of my spice into the other for the marinade. So think about it. If you ever want to marinate something Indian style, all you need is yogurt, 1 container, 2 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons of ginger, and your 1 tablespoon of garam masala, and in it goes. And that is it. I'll let it go overnight. Well, these are ready for the fridge. You can see there's quite a difference in the color. This one is a lot more of a brownish color, and that's more of a yellowish color. Bet the turmeric is having a big factor in that. So what really matters is how they taste. I'll leave these in the fridge overnight, and tomorrow we will find out. I almost forgot. This was a generic recipe for a marinade, but for chicken tikka masala specifically, we actually had an extra quarter teaspoon of paprika and of turmeric for the great colors they provide, and also half a lime. So I'll be adding those to this now. Chicken tikka masala today. I have some prep to do. So far, I've already marinated the chicken. 1 to 24 hours. Target is 5. I'm going to make naan from scratch, so that's kind of fun. 1 to 4 hours it takes for that to rest. And I got to make my ginger dressing for my salad. For the naan, I'll need 1 cup of flour, a quarter teaspoon each of baking soda, sugar, and salt. I'll need a tablespoon and a half of olive oil and a quarter cup of yogurt. Mix that all together. Naan's on the way. Now you notice the olive oil and the yogurt together won't be enough to actually make a dough. That'll be a little too dry still, so you'll need up to a quarter cup of water. I just put in about a tablespoon at a time and work on it till it comes into a nice dough ball. So I needed my dough ball for 5 minutes with 2 hands at the time, and I only ended up using 2 tablespoons of the water. That's half the quarter cup. I'm going to put this into a bowl after I smooth it out with 2 hands. I'll put a little olive oil brushed on top and a wet tea towel, and then I'll let it rest 1 to 4 hours. Am I the only one who finds dough balls cute? Because that looks adorable to me. I got the olive oil on. You can see a little bit yellower now, and look at that perfect little round shape. 2 hands works better than 1, and my damp tea towel goes on top, and I'll let it rest. To accompany my chicken tikka masala, I'm going to make one of those amazing ginger dressings to go over a simple salad that they do like in a lot of these Asian restaurants and Indian restaurants. So its base is actually a mirepoix, onion, carrot, celery, but we add ginger to make it more Asian. After we fully process these ingredients, we're going to add liquids. Lemon. Normally you use peanut oil. I'm using extra light olive oil. It doesn't taste quite as olive-y. Use any neutral oil. Rice wine vinegar, soy, Dijon, and honey. And the surprise secret ingredient, ketchup. Yep. All the ingredients are now processed together, and it's so good. I don't think you can really imagine how good this tastes until you've blended it together, and then you take that first little taste, and the tikka masala is going to take me two major steps. One is to bloom my spices and saute my aromatics. After that, I'm going to simmer the sauce. So I have less garlic and ginger than I like because of that salad dressing I made, but it's worth it. This will work. So I'm blooming the spices, which really just means heating them in oil. That's the garam masala. This one is my own spice blend. And I meant to put a half tablespoon in each because I have the recipe, but I went for the full tablespoon. So let's see how that comes out. It might be a little too spicy. The oil has become super fragrant. It smells amazing in here. So now I'm going to add onion, serrano pepper, ginger, and garlic. Next, I'm going to deglaze with my liquids. I noticed how dark this is compared to this one. Much browner, much darker. And again, that's just because that's garam masala and this is my own spice blend. So looks-wise, I kind of like the look of this light stuff, but flavor is what matters. Okay, 1/4 cup of red wine to deglaze that. Same with the other one. In addition to the red wine, I added some lime, half of a lime to each one, and I just added some tomato sauce. You can also use tomato paste to bump up that tomato flavor. I would do that at the onion stage. I skipped it today because I didn't have any on hand, but it works. I think because of the extra spice, these have come out a little darker than they usually do. It's usually a nice bright red. The last ingredient is 1 tablespoon of honey, and then we let it simmer for 20 minutes, and the sauce is ready. All right, the last thing I got to do for the chicken, it's been marinated overnight, and this left half here is the garam masala, the right half is my own spice blend. Into the oven, 500 degrees, that's maxed out, for 15 minutes. I'm also going to make some rice with this. This is my little rice pot. It's this little black plastic thing, and clack that on there. And my microwave actually has a rice button that takes just about 17 minutes to make rice perfect. If you've ever seen naan, it's flat on one side and bubbly on the other side. The reason is they use a tandoori. The oven is slanted this way, and they actually throw the naan on the underside, so it gets flat cooked on one side, and heat bubbles the other side. Obviously, I don't have that kind of a tandoor oven, so a little bit of water, just a tiny bit of water on the dough, and then you pick it up and into a cast iron skillet. Now, this next step is going to go pretty fast. You can see it's already bubbled up. Now, I take this guy, and boy, if I had like a real gas stove, this could be even better. But if you look, that's how I do it. I'm going to put onion in one of these. So put your ingredient, onion, potato, garlic, whatever you want, then flatten it back out, and then cook it. So I learned a few tricks with this technique. One is take it off the heat after the skillet's hot enough. Once you see the bubbles, flip it back onto the hot. That's just the right amount of heat to get that side cooked without it burning. Here are the ones so far. Look at this. The chicken's out of the oven, and just this preparation, just marinating it, it looks so good. It tastes amazing. I'm going to do a taste test on these before I even put the sauce on, which is also ready to go. The onion one did not turn out at all. It's bread. It's not naan. It's a little overcooked on this side. It didn't puff up at all. So I'm going to have to rely on these guys for my flavor bombs. But yeah, these are awesome. This is super interesting. The chicken, I kind of like the basic garam masala plus paprika and whatever else more than the complicated one. However, when it comes to the sauces, I vastly prefer the sauce with the more complicated spices. So that's an interesting find so far. Remember, I made 2 portions, so half of this, I'm going to actually put that in the freezer, and I'll reheat that with a taco or something exciting. This is going into the sauce, one by one. The other one already has its chicken in it. Yum. For the salad, a pro tip, cooking for one, just go to the little salad bar that they have in all the supermarkets now and make yourself something. Cut that in half, pour your ginger dressing over it, and amazing. But let me just give this a try. There's a lot going on in these videos today. I looked at the list, it's gigantic. If you do nothing else, just try that ginger dressing and put it on a small salad like that. It's so good. Then build your way up to the chicken tikka masala if you'd like to. Go with the basic masala, don't worry about all the complexity, and have fun. In case you were wondering about the naan, I've been ripping off pieces of it. As you can see, it rips amazingly well. Sorry for the close-up. And oh my God, is it good. It's perfect. I'm digging into my ginger salad today. And it's so yummy. This ginger dressing is amazing on the salad. Definitely do it. But gosh, you know what would be great on is a piece of whitefish. Oh my God, I'm totally going to do that. But try it on anything, really. I learned a lot of things. Number one, make your own naan. It's delicious. Just an experiment. Make naan and then use it for sandwiches throughout the week, right? Even a grilled cheese, whatever. Try it. It's super easy, super delicious. Now, on to the chicken tikka masala. Chicken tikka masala is really just spaghetti sauce, but you enhance it with ginger, garlic, serrano, honey, and lime, and of course Indian spices. And then simmer meat in it for, 20 minutes. Even if you didn't marinate the meat first, it's going to be delicious. So try it. Oh, and I almost forgot. You do mix yogurt into that sauce at the very end, and that lightens up that color, also adds a beautiful tang to the flavor. So don't forget the yogurt.